Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap and welcome once again to the NovaWrap, your one-stop weekly location for all your simulation related news and events for the week that was. So this week's quite the patching week. This week, quite a few products have received various updates and the like, and are made available to us as the general populace. The first one, and probably the leading biggest patch, was of course the announcement by Lockheed Martin that they've updated their Prepar3d title to the latest version 2.3. So this was released about the middle of the week. This update is pretty big and does give quite a lot of really good features have been added to this one. So its primary feature was there to obviously after the version 2.2 hotfix that caused a few gremlins to appear in the multiplayer and the flight planner functions of Prepared. They've now been bugged out or been stamped on and been removed. Given quite a few good platform updates as well, so it's a lot more rendering and performance issues have been improved. So given a lot more support and a lot more optimization for some of the newest graphics cards have been put in there as well. A lot more specular mapping for buildings and for environment. Just basically, it's gonna look. It already looked pretty damn awesome, and now it's going to look even better. So yeah, it's absolutely incredible. The list of updates is quite extensive, goes through all the optimizations they've done and issues with lighting and shadows that would actually become problematic as you would your flying experience continued. Update a lot of the default aircraft in there as well to make sure their lighting and everything displays correctly, and also so they could actually display said default lighting on third-party aircraft as well, so which is pretty cool. Also went through some good user interface updates as well, where they would actually they've changed and updated the camera settings and the camera file so they don't freak out quite as much, and also some main issues where the your flight stick and the button assignments that you spend hours and hours painstakingly setting would suddenly be lost and forgotten by the title. Fairly important, that one. So yeah, really good to see that's been updated there. But otherwise, the other thing, of course, was the multiplayer experience has been improved. So the functionality of a shared cockpit, which is more popular than I realised it was. We're talking to a few friends and colleagues in the flight simulator industry. It has actually been improved, so it's a lot less packet hungry, a lot more stable for both parties in that one as well. And also switching roles in aircraft that could cause crashes to desktop, they have also been resolved as well. So that's pretty much the main summary there. There's a whole slew of other issues there as well for some of the Sim Director and some of the other sort of functions in the background as well, and like some of the Sim Connect problems as well have also been fixed. So that's a pretty incredible, and it's really great to see that there is still somebody out there actively working on flight simulator products for us consumer and non-wargaming type people. So, yes. Now, speaking of wargaming, of course, there has also been another fantastic title has now come onto early access. Now, technically, it's not new for everybody. It has actually been early access for a while, direct from the publisher, but it's now this week been released as early access on Steam as well. So this is, of course, IL-2 Sturmovik Battle of Stalingrad. So the guys over at 777 Studios and 1C Game have continued their resurrection of the IL-2 series, following on from the Cliffs of Dover. Well, let's face it, the initial release of Cliffs of Dover was rather disastrous, but the backup that they received down the track was a lot more impressive. But this release, the Battle of Stalingrad, seems to, so far at least, has engendered, I think, is that a word? A lot more support from the community out there. The physics and the graphics look pretty damn incredible. Interestingly enough, one of the feedbacks that's coming back at the moment, and this is probably just because it is in beta and not in final state yet, is the fact that a lot more people are saying that the DX9 version of the graphics actually looks a lot better than the DX11 one, which is very interesting, actually. Very, very interesting. And I would love to actually know why that is, but anyway. But yeah, overall the view looks incredible. They really seem to have outdone themselves on this one. It is not for the faint-hearted, much like DCS. It is not there for just to pick up and fly. You want to actually devote some time on this one. Yeah, pretty important, this one. It does enable, there are two versions available for purchase through Steam at the moment. You've got the core game, and then you've got the deluxe version. The deluxe version, of course, includes the DLC aircraft, the Lavochkin LA-5 and the Focke-Wulf FW-190A3. Both of those are included in the digital deluxe edition. It's pretty much the same as if you bought it anyway, so anyway. But from what I'm seeing, from what I'm looking like, it does look pretty damn incredible. I'm still curious whether I'm going to pick it up or not, but from everything I've seen and the reviews I've read, this does look a pretty good title if you are into your World War II combat simulation. This definitely does look like the title for you. Onwards to other releases and updates, folks. So the guys, the magnificent guys over at A2A have now released their Avro 504K. So this very iconic trainer aircraft is now available in FSX with the usual A2A incredible attention to detail. It is released as one of the aircraft factory line, so it doesn't have the AccuFeel stuff in there, but I tell you what, it's an A2A product, so it just is absolutely incredible automatically anyway. Various versions are, it does include the 504K and the 504N, which is included in the model pack, in both civilian and military liveries. A bit of the history behind the 504. The 504 was one of the most widely produced and served biplane trainers in the United Kingdom, and soldiered on well into civilian life, and still served as the Royal Air Force's primary flight trainer right up until I think it was right until the mid 30s, I think, when finally the Tiger Moth did supersede it, and it was built under license in various countries around the world as well. So a nice piece of aviation history there, released from A2A. So thanks very much to the magnificent guys over at A2A. Rounding out the week of updates and releases, so on hot on the heels of the Service Pack 3 for New Zealand from Orbx, they've released a triple installer for the South Island, so you can now install into FSX P3D1, P3D version 2, along with a couple of others. I think they've got their Southampton Airport and Walter Sutton's private airstrip have also been released available as the triple pack installer, so pretty cool to see there. Makes life a lot easier for everybody, doesn't it? Yeah. And rounding it out now, just as a final note, EA have made available a sim creator from the Sims.com, so you can actually go in if you cannot wait for the Sims 4 to be released in a few weeks' time. You can get some practice in and start creating your Sims. So I know my wife's already been having a play around with that already. So there you go. All right. Well, folks, that pretty much wraps up the week that was in simulation news from around the world this week. So thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in other videos over the coming weeks. I just want to quickly say that my content production will be a little bit reduced over the next sort of few weeks due to some personal commitments. I will still be putting some content up, and I'm madly trying to get some content ready so I can put it up and schedule it all for your viewing pleasure. But yeah, there may be some interruptions over the next week or so. Alright folks, as always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget you can stay in touch with me and the latest things that I'm up to, both by liking and subscribing here on the YouTube channel, and you can also find me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Well folks, thank you very much for watching once again. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.